Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar, Get Paid Faster with Online Invoice Payments. My name is Anna, and I'm part of the education team here at Xero. I'm pleased you could join me today as we take a closer look at how you can offer a seamless, professional payment experience for your customers by using online payments. Now, it is Education Month at Xero, and there is loads of valuable content to choose from, so make sure you check out some of the other webinars and selected webinar recordings. I'll get my colleague Nicole to post a link in the Education Month webpage in the chat box now. Now, we do also have a competition running today where you can win a $200 Amazon card, and I will give you the details on how to enter towards the end, so please stay tuned. Now, I'm sure that we can all agree it is now more important than ever that you take control over your cash flow and get paid faster, especially with more economic turbulence predicted to come. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to take you through the following. We're going to start with an introduction to online invoice payments. We're going to look at the key features and benefits for using it in your practice. Now, Xero's two main online payment providers and the key differences between them. Then we're going to show you where to go to get set up and take a look at the seamless payment experience with both of the providers. And finally, we're going to provide you with any next steps to help you and your clients on this payment journey. Now, we'll also share a webinar resources guide, which has got a bunch of helpful links and information, and I'll get Nicole to share this towards the end of the session this afternoon. So let's get started. Now, we know that chasing payments is one of the most difficult tasks in any business, and the impact that late payments have on your business is huge. Now, you can limit your ability to pay your suppliers and employees. Growing your business is going to be a struggle, and the ripple effect this has throughout the economy is very real. Now, in fact, according to our Money Matters report that was published recently, 83% of business owners in Singapore have experienced some form of cash flow issue over the last 12 months. So, why not get paid up to twice as fast with online invoice payments? Now, we've found that Xero customers who use online invoice payments get paid up to twice as fast as those who don't. Now, our mission is to help businesses get paid on time, every time. So why not give your customers more ways to pay, increasing the likelihood of you getting paid on time, every time, and reducing the time you spend chasing payments. Now, here is a customer testimonial that is absolutely marvellous. It is from Lauren Harvey, and she is a fellow Xero partner. The benefit of our clients using payments in Xero is that they are nailing the invoice process from the beginning. So it's reducing debtor days and there is no payments to chase. That is a very nice testimonial there. Now, hopefully most of you here have seen the benefit of online payments firsthand. For example, when you're doing the online shopping or even paying a toll online. For me personally, the option to pay online has been a game changer. Online invoice payments enable you to get paid online directly from a Xero online invoice. So your customers can then pay their invoice in just a few clicks using their payment method of choice, such as credit card, debit card, digital wallets, and more. Now, Stripe is one of our preferred providers as they have a direct integration with Xero, meaning you can sign up to them for free from right within Xero. And we'll take a look at them and some of the other providers that are available shortly. Now, the click to pay functionality with online payments and that beautiful Pay Now button shown on the screen is a huge contributor to reducing those payment times and streamlining client billing. Now, in this day and age, it is fair to say most people expect this sort of functionality and ease of use, and it certainly delivers. Now, if you're looking to accept one-off or recurring payments via credit card, debit card, or Apple Pay, or even Google Pay, Stripe is an excellent option. Now, you can set up a separate Stripe bank feed in Xero for easy reconciliation, and this can be set up after you've created an account with Stripe. So you would follow the same process as if you were connecting a bank feed to Xero. Now, you can set up auto pay for recurring bills, and it's basically a way for your customers to consent to you saving their credit card details for their future payments. Now, Stripe charges a fee per transaction when a client uses the online payment method. However, you can choose to pass on some or even all of that transaction fee to your clients if you prefer. And you can just use the surcharge feature, which I will show you very shortly. Now, it is important to ensure that this action complies with any applicable laws that pertain to your business before you do so, though. Now, Stripe makes payouts to your designated payment account, and payout availability can vary based on the industry and country that you are operating in. But in most cases, you won't receive your first payout until 7 to 14 days after receiving your first successful payment. Now, because Stripe is a fully online service, this is their way of managing the risk of fraud and protecting the card holders. So after the first payout, however, in Asia, the payout times are often around 7 business days. Now, the webinar resource guide will contain a link on pricing and payout times with Stripe. Now, Stripe is generally suited for those one-off transactions or those that don't occur too frequently. Now, for our accounting partners online, you could use Stripe to bill for one-off client engagements or year-end advisory services or compliance work. Now, and on your client's end, this makes it quick and easy to pay via mobile, and they can take advantage of their loyalty card scheme and interest-free terms if they are using a credit card. And for our small to medium enterprises online, Stripe is generally suited to businesses like tradespeople, catering businesses, and creative services. So the businesses where you don't invoice too frequently to too many customers. Now, if you're based in Singapore, Malaysia, or Hong Kong, we are pleased to share that Xero has some complete localized payment collection options for you. Now, Xero is integrated to direct debit payment providers such as PayNow in Singapore, Do It Now and FPX in Malaysia, as well as EDDA and FPS in Hong Kong. And if you'd like to pay with credit or debit card, you can see the multiple providers that are compatible with this on the slide. Now, each of these payment services seamlessly reconciles in Xero in a way that's similar to the bank feeds, so it reduces the amount of manual reconciliation required compared to a payment provider that's not integrated with Xero. So take a quick snapshot of this slide and we'll go to our Xero App Store to connect. Now that we've covered that high level of what online payments are and Xero's preferred payment providers, let's go through the key features and benefits of using it for your business. Now, it's free and easy to get set up. Most complete setup in under 10 minutes. And like I've mentioned, there is also no sign up or ongoing subscription costs, and you'll only be charged if your customer chooses to pay using that online payment method. And if you want, this transaction fee can, of course, be passed on to your client depending on your payment provider. Now, before you know it, you'll be sending professional invoices that beautifully showcase your brand. And you can personalize your invoice templates with your logo and custom messages to boost your business's image. Trust us, your invoices will look a whole lot more professional. Now, by offering an online payment option, your customers get the flexibility and choice to pay how they want. And that beautiful Pay Now button gives your customers more ways to pay across multiple devices with credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and more. Now, we know customers like their options, which means more chances to get paid on time. You can receive those payments immediately and securely with end-to-end fraud protection for you and your customers. And every invoice paid via online payments is secure and protects you and your customers from fraud. Now, following on from that, when you switch to a payment provider that has a direct integration with Xero, it significantly saves time with reconciliation in Xero compared to payment providers that have no direct integration. So when there is no integration, you will be required to manually reconcile the invoices. However, when a payment provider is integrated with Xero, your paid invoices will either be automatically reconciled, so there is going to be little or no action required on your end, or else you can reconcile your paid invoices in the bank feed via a find and match. So this makes it quick and easy to match against those statement lines. So the type of reconciliation will either be auto-reconcile or bank feed reconciliation, depending on the payment provider, but both are very, very efficient. So let's get in and take a look at just how easy an online payment service is to set up. So let's head across to Xero, and I'm going to go to the payment services screen to get started. Now I'll just pop my camera off for the demo so that you don't have to see me gestating wildly with my hands, and I'll come back to you after the demo. So we're going to head to the payment services screen to get started. So that puts us into the organisation dropdown, and we're going to go to the settings, and then we're going to go across to the payment services. And there we go. Now we can see here is Stripe, and they have the most comprehensive integration with Xero. And you can also see here that there is an option to set up a Go Cardless in this particular Xero organisation. However, Go Cardless is not available in Asia at this stage. You can, of course, add other payment providers by heading to our Xero App Store or the Xero Asia payment page, which I actually have open, so I will show you. So if we scroll down this page, down the bottom, we can see that there is a section about taking payments, and there is the list of our preferred payment providers in your region. And these guys will have a direct integration with Xero. Now, I'll just get Nicole to pop a link in the chat box now to this page as well. Let's go back to Xero. Now, the webinar resource guide that we will share at the end also actually links out to that payment page, along with a checklist to help you get set up with Stripe. So make sure to take a look. Now, for today, we're going to set up Stripe as a payment provider. So again, this just means that the customer can pay using their credit card, debit card, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. So what we'll do is we'll click here on Set Up Stripe. So we're going to set up cards and digital wallets. Now, they list their payment or transaction fees up front, which I really do like. It makes it easy to weigh up the cost of fees against the benefits of faster payments. And of course, there are no sign-up or ongoing monthly charges to add to that equation. So you're going to likely spend less time chasing customers and worrying about cash flow. Now, if you already have a Stripe account, you simply log in here under I have a Stripe account. And that will link your Stripe account to your Xero organisation. Or you can click on the sign up for Stripe, and you can actually sign up without having to leave Xero. It's thinking about it, but that's okay. We'll give it a little bit longer. There it is. So you would continue through all of these steps to get it set up, just providing your basic business and account information. But today we're just going to return to Xero and we'll continue on with the webinar. Now, just to let you know, soon you'll see that managing your payment methods once you're connected will be a lot easier and more flexible. So this part of Xero may look a little different in the coming weeks. Now, it's all aimed, of course, to give you more control and visibility over your payment methods. Now, once you have finished the setup completely, Stripe will be automatically added to all of your existing invoice templates in Xero. But you can see that our Stripe is still sitting as pending because we haven't finished our application. But what we will be able to do is manage the themes of our payment service here. Let's go into manage themes, and we can actually add Stripe as a payment provider. So we're going to add them to our standard invoice template. And you can also add multiple payment providers to an invoice template. So you're giving your customers more options in the way that they pay. So if you do want to connect your business to multiple payment providers, but don't want all of the options available for your customers, a really easy way to do this would be to create multiple branding themes for the different invoices. So for example, you can create a branding theme like I have called Stripe Invoice Template, where Stripe is going to be the default payment service on those invoices, therefore making the invoicing really simple. So let's click Save on that once we've selected Stripe. And you can, of course, do that for other payment providers that you're connected to as well. So to create a new branding theme, what you're going to do is head to your invoice settings. So a really easy way to get there from this screen is to go into the invoice settings hyperlink at the top here. So let's jump in there. Or else you can, of course, once your branding theme is created, you can actually attach the payment from the service screen like we've just done with Stripe. Now with Stripe, as I mentioned earlier, there is the option to pass some of those transaction fees to your customers. So that way you don't have to give away some of your revenue if you don't want to. And we find that most customers are willing to pay the surcharge in exchange for the convenience of paying how they want and when they want. So once you're set up with Stripe, if you do want to on-charge some of the transaction fees to your customers, this is where you would go and do that. So we'll head back into our payment services. We'll let that think about that. And if we edit this and go into our service details, you can see that we can charge my customers a card processing fee just by toggling that on. And you also have the option to choose how much of the processing fee you want to pass on. You then select the reimbursement account from your chart of accounts where the reimbursements will be coded to. So we'll code this one to other revenue. And once you're happy with your selections, you would just hit save. But as we're not set up yet, we will just cancel out of this. Now, it is also worth mentioning that you can actually remove online payments at any time as well. And with no setup or ongoing subscription fees, you're not locked in. Great. So that is where you would want to go to set up with online invoice payments. We'll now go through the workflow of sending an invoice to a customer to see the seamless payment experience. Right, we're going to start from within this draft invoice. Now, if you've added Stripe to an invoice template, it's automatically applied to invoices using the template. And you're able to manage your online payments from here within the invoice under Manage Online Payments. Now, you are, of course, in control of how you ask your customers to pay. We'll have Stripe selected as the payment provider on this invoice, but you can see the other payment providers connected to the Xero organisation are there as well. Now, you can also choose to remove the Pay Now button from your invoices where you don't want or need to offer that as a payment option. So all you need to do is untick that payment provider if you'd prefer. Now, we will approve and email this invoice and send it out to the customer. So we're going to check the message and add anything else that we would like to customize in the messaging and enter the email address if one isn't already saved. And then we'll just hit send. So the email's been sent and you can see that our invoice status has changed to awaiting payment. But let's see what it looks like from the customer's end and see what happens when they hit that Pay Now button. So once they receive the email, they click on the Pay Now button or the invoice link to see it in more detail. So that's the invoice, and when they're happy to make a payment, all they need to do is click on that Pay Now button. And they're going to see a prompt to fill in their personal credit or debit card details. Just a matter of filling that out. And if the device is enabled and they're paying from their mobile phone, the customer could use their Google or Apple Pay. Then they're going to get a confirmation that the payment is successful with a green page tag appearing on the invoice in real time. And the invoice is paid just like that. Now, when a customer pays an invoice online, Xero automatically marks the invoice as paid and automatically creates a transaction for the payments transaction fee. Right, so we're now in the Reconcile tab in our Xero organisation. Payment services like Stripe let you connect a direct feed to your Stripe account. So the individual transactions and fees flow directly into Xero for easy reconciliation. So it's very similar to setting up your bank feed. And once connected, your direct feed is going to appear on your dashboard, just like your other connected bank feeds. And like you can see that we have here, in the example, in this Stripe direct feed, we have the total amount has been received from the customer. So that's Flora Clarkson. And we've got Stripe transaction fees as well. And they've come in at $32.20. And it's super easy to reconcile the customer payment from Flora and the associated Stripe payment fees against the invoice in Xero. All you need to do is just accept the match. So we're just going to hit OK on both of those. And when Stripe makes the net payout a few days later, based on payout times, you're also going to be able to reconcile that in your bank account. So when the funds are received, you're going to do a transfer from your Stripe account to your bank account. Now, the webinar resources guide that we will share at the end will contain a support article, and it links to Stripe direct feeds if you'd like some more information about them. So that, in a nutshell, was Stripe. Okay, we are nearing the end. My aim today was to take you through a closer look at how you can accept online payments through integrations with Stripe and Go Cardless and what impact that might have on your practice and your cash flow. So a quick recap. It is free and there is one-time setup. So you've got no monthly subscription costs. You simply select the payment options that you want to offer and you only pay per transaction. So there's now less time spent chasing clients and worrying about cash flow and more time to focus on value-added activities. You're going to have less chasing and you're going to get paid faster. So giving your clients flexibility to pay how they want means that they can pay you on the spot and in fewer steps and on time, with Xero's click to pay functionality straight from their invoice. You can automate payment collection. So you can actually choose to automate the payment collection for recurring bills and get paid on the date that the invoice is due without you or your client having to lift a finger. So, and you've got safe, secure payment options that you can trust. And the invoices paid online via online payments are secure and they help protect you and your clients against fraud. And you've got seamless reconciliation. When you receive an online payment, Xero marks the invoice as paid for both you and your client. Simply check and accept the suggested reconciliations to make bank rec very efficient. Now, we did mention a webinar resources guide at the start, and I've mentioned it a few times throughout. It does contain a lot of helpful links that we've gone through today and much more. There is a checklist with the key information to set up Stripe and Go Cardless. There are support articles and course pages to help you on your payments journey. I'll get Nicole to pop a link in the chat box now, or feel free to scan the QR code to access that fantastic resource. Just make sure you open and download it before you leave the webinar today. So that is all from me. It has been a pleasure to take you for a closer look at online payments. I do hope you found this webinar helpful, and I hope to see you on another webinar soon. Take care and be kind.